Give me a chat back, everyone. Okay, so if everybody just really quick before we get started, where you see where you typed in your message on top of it, it says host and panelists. Can everyone just click on that drop down menu and click to everyone so we all could follow along? All right, so while you're doing that, let me share my webcam and perfect. There you go. Excellent. All right, thanks everyone for being here. My name is Fausto Pugliese, president, founder of Cybertrade University, and today we're going to talk about what happened last week. The forecast rating to reduction after the Jackson Hole meeting. There was Powell said inflation is doing pretty well, and they think about lowering rates. It had a big rally in the market. Some of you missed it. Some of you probably did get onto it. We'll talk a little bit about it, how we trade it, and basically how to follow the smart money. So we're going to probably talk for about maybe 40 minutes, and depending on how some of you chat back and ask questions, the more questions you ask, the more fun this is going to be, the more you're going to learn. So, but before we do that, just really quick little disclaimer. I'm not making any promises or guarantees this works for anybody. This basically, there's a very high risk in trading. So I always kind of like to recommend everybody don't risk what you can't afford to lose. All right. So let's go to the live markets. I like to just get right into it before I start getting into why we traded this and how did we traded that and so on. So let me just bring up the execution system really quick and kind of show you what we got going on here. Basically, this is a basic direct access system. We got our charts, we got our watch lists, we got our execution box, and we have our top 20 list. So you'll notice that I don't have any indicators on here. I don't have any special heat maps or special tools. This is really kind of more of a basic platform. Every brokerage firm offers it, something very similar. And I'm going to show you some of the features that you probably don't have that you should. So what we got going on here, this is actually our professional trading floor. Let me just bring this up over here for you. Now, I'm going to invite all of you to come here when we're done today. So these are all our traders up here in the top left-hand corner. Right now, we got close to 200 traders right now, even though it's the end of the year and summer. And these are all instructors. These are all our traders on the left-hand side around the entire world. We have our alert service. We have our message board. And right now they're looking at a stock right here, RZLV. And we're going to talk about why it's going up, where do we find it, and when will it stop, right? So, but before I do that, let me ask everyone here, did anybody do any trades today? Anybody go out there and buy and sell any stocks out there, or just just let me know what you traded. No problem, Patricia. I really appreciate it. What did you trade? Joe, you didn't trade? All right, anybody in a swing trade or anything? Magnus, you're Rigetti. Okay. CLG, you're holding. AQB, Lynn Ramsey. Okay. Welcome back. Always depend on you guys to be here. NVIDIA is one of them. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about NVIDIA. Now, now I don't know if you guys are subscribed to my channel, but let me go on the YouTube really quick. And yesterday I posted a video right here on earnings. The video is earnings right here. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel at Cybertrade University, we'll just give you the link. And here's the video, by the way. There it is right there. Thanks for sharing it. And here's the video for you. So I was kind of basically giving you a quick 1-minute video, why NVIDIA went down, how much it went down, and had to do something called a slingshot. Now, NVIDIA, let me just put this over here because we don't need to watch the video. You guys can watch it later. And let me bring up NVIDIA really quick. So here's what happened to NVIDIA yesterday. You could see earnings came out. The stock went from like 182.5, dropped all the way down to 172, and it came all the way back up to a high at close to 185. Now I'm going to draw some trend lines here. Okay, you can see where the resistance levels are. You can see where big support levels are. Now, My question to you, everybody, is this: what makes stocks go up and down in the stock market? What drives things up or down? Let me see how all of you answer this question. It's a very simple question. BNS, okay. Buyers and sellers. All right, good, 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 good. Buyers and sellers. Could everybody put that in the chat room? I want to make sure everyone is paying attention. Don't be shy. John, I didn't hear from you. Firefly, I don't know who you are. David, Louise, Oscar, just put in there. Just say, just BNS. So I know that you're paying attention. All right. So when you look at the past, where was the buyer here and where was the seller there? You don't see them, right? The past is the past. What you want to see is the future. And what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to bring something right here is called level 4. Now, when you look right here on level 4, here's 930. And when the market opened up, you see all this big red line right there? That's called program trading. Those are orders of people trying to sell, and these are orders of people looking to buy. Now, if you follow that line all the way to here, this is called the current order book. These are all those limit orders, the algorithms, the high frequency trades, all the boogeyman things that you hear about the stock market. Well, guess what? That data is available to you. So you could see right here that there was a pretty substantial sellers between 185 and 184. And you could see when the market opened up, what the stock at them doing? It ended up going down, right? Now we're down here to 178. And if you notice down here, you got some big buyers in the greens, and you're talking close to about 1 million shares looking to be bought there. So now if you notice that within that $10, you got a lot of sellers at 185 and a lot of buyers at 175. Now, this is where it all makes sense. Let me clear these drawings and let me bring back the chart. If I put these side by side, you will see right here, there's your 185. You see the high right there, how it hit it? You see here the low, it says 176. That's probably right there. You see that? So you could see that stock did move almost $10. And you wouldn't have known that or had a game plan where you knew you should have sold at one price and knew where to buy at another. Because if you did that, guess what? You could have made money on a gain, or you could have bought it out of support and sold out of resistance. Now, did I lose anybody yet? That's what I'm basically wanting to go to. Did anybody lose anyone? All right. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. And let me tell you what I'm about to teach you. Now, I've done a lot of presentations for NASDAQ Exchange. You probably watched me. There's some great videos out there. I'm going to teach you how to trade the market, okay? And I'm going to show you, I'm one of the original day traders that started back in the early 90s. I live here in New York. It's financial capital of the world. I'm surrounded, I was taught by some of the best traders in the industry. And over the years, you could see from here, I've trained all walks of life of all different people. And if you notice, they all look like you. They're business owners, grandmas and grandpas, accountants, CEOs of companies, engineers. You said it, over the hundreds of thousands of people that personally took my class and the millions of that have listened to me over the years. What I'm looking to do today is hopefully to recruit some of you. So the more we could train, the more we all do well together. Now, I'm also like to tell you a little bit about my family. I've been married for over 28 years. I got 3 wonderful boys. My wife, Debbie, Alex, Max, and Lucas. I feel that sometimes being what I do for a living as a trader, I was able to spend more time with them. I was able to travel with them. And I'm also to do things I love to enjoy. Okay. I have my own living channel. I raise backyard chickens. I love to cook. So if you guys ever want to, see a little bit about who I am and why I do, is because trading lets me do these things. okay? Because trading is not a full-time job. And when you become our age, you want to keep yourself busy. Maybe you want to go play some golf. Maybe you want to, or tennis, whatever it may be. Maybe you want to ride your bike more often, and you're sick and tired of being locked up working for a company and waking up and not doing the typical 9 to 5 job. Trading is the perfect job to do that. But to do that, which you probably already know, you got to know how to play the game. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you a little bit about trading. And at the end of when we're done, I'm going to invite all of you to have access to our trading floor, okay, which I just showed you a couple of minutes ago. So everything we say, we practice what we preach, okay? So you'll be able to see what we buy, what we sell. We're going to teach you everything. And not only that, it doesn't matter what we do. What your goal here is to see is, does it make sense what we talk about? And can we teach you how to do it? And the only way you're going to know that is you need to see the other traders in the room and see if they're able to figure it out. Now, let's talk about the market. And let's talk about what happened this past week. So you had the market, NASDAQ popped over 400 points. What happened, what Chairman Powell said at Jackson Hole Summit. Now, the question is, did you buy? Did you sell in the past week? What did you actually do? Okay. And you could see some of the stocks that did really, really well in that market, like the NVIDIAs, like the Teslas. No matter what you bought, everything did really, really well. But you got to remember, it's not just about the fabulous 7. There are other stocks out there that you could trade that will give you less risk with more reward. So that's what we need to think about. So what we need to understand is, did you miss those big moves, and how could you have caught on to it before they actually happened? Now, to be very successful in trading, which I was a failure rate when I started until I had a mentor that taught me how to trade, is you got to have the right tools. Okay. And there are just so many damn tools out there that you don't need all of them. And the ones you do need, some of you probably never even knew even existed. So I'm going to talk about the top 3 tools that are out there that you need to have when it comes to trading. You need a scanner, you need a simple chart, and you need something called level 3 quotes. Now, I want to ask everyone here, does everyone have all 3? So give me 3, maybe just 2, maybe 1. I'm just curious to see what you guys have here. And I'll explain to you a little bit what one does versus the other. So some of you saying 3, and I know why, because some of you are students here at Cyber Trader University. That's great. Patrick says 2. Philip, what about you? Raj, Ronald, Roy, Timothy, what about you guys? Joe, you got 1. Alberta, you have 2. All right, so let me explain something to you, what you're about to listen to and see. What you're about to learn right now is going to be, I always like to say, be disturbing. And you'd be like, why is it disturbing? Because you're going to be like, why didn't no one the hell told me about this stuff? Okay. Now, I don't know who trained you or where did you get your education from, but all I know is I will never go into something in a business unless I was ever taught not how to make money, but how to have the right tools and how to stop losing it. And that's what we're going to focus on. So let's start with the first scanner, okay? The first tool that you need is you need something called a big percentage gainers and losers. Now, every brokerage firm offers it. If they don't, you better start looking for new ones. If you need help, we'll help you find one. But you need to trade things that have volatility in it. See, everybody likes to go out there and they want to trade, oh, what's the fabulous 7 doing? What's Google doing? What's Amazon doing? Forget about those stocks, okay? There are other stocks out there like AQB today, SOGP, OPAD. Like, what are those? Oh, you'll see. And I'm going to show you, be like, wow, I never seen a stock up 50%, 100%. Some of you like, I was never in one of those. Well, guess what? They're there every day, and there are several of them. Where do we find them? In the big percentage gainers and losers. Now, the thing that we're going to teach you in our workshop for the week is we need to teach you something that's called what makes one tradable and what makes one not. And what that means is this. Does the stock have good volatility? Meaning, does it have good volume? Does it have a good spread? Do we have good buyers and sellers out there that are pushing it up? These are things we're going to show you because you can't trade all of them. There's only about 2 or 3 that are moving okay. And when it comes to and basically we'll go through the big gainers and we'll go through the top losers, because you could also short too. Like today, Kohl's was a really good short. If you saw it yesterday, it was a nice little trend on the way down. Some people look at it and like, I never traded Kohl's before. Well, remember why you're here. You're not here to trade a stock because you know them. You're here to trade a stock to make money. That's why you're here. So there are a lot out there to trade. Tool number 2 is a simple chart. Now, a lot of you like to get into details with indicators and this and that. Well, depending on what kind of trader you are, then there are certain indicators that you would use depending on your style. Like, for example, I'm an actual day trader. I do swing trading, but I'm a majority I day trade. What that means is I get in and out in the same day. I get to sleep at night. I sit in cash. What I made for the day, I made it. And to do that, you need to be as simple as possible. Just a simple chart and follow orders. If you're a swing trader, then you might want to get into some indicators and so on, and depending if you're an investor. But let me tell you, if you can't read a chart just keeping without the indicators, then obviously you have a little too much on your plate. You got to do something called the KISS method. It's called keep it super simple. Now, I like to have a 1-minute chart and I like to have a daily chart. So when I look at my charts, if you notice right here, you could see how I can make it a day chart. I could do a week chart. I could do a month chart. But I like to get an overall big picture. I like to keep a day chart. And I like on the bottom, you could see I got a yearly chart. So, and if I need to zoom in, it's very easy. So that's what's nice about these platforms. They got some really cool tools, and these are things that we'll cover in that workshop that we're going to invite you all to. All right. But that is not what's going to make you money. Okay. What's going to make you money is you have to follow the orders. And now we're going to talk about how do we do that? Now, there are 2 ways of seeing orders. There's something called level 2 quotes, and there's something called level 3, and then level 4. So when it comes to these books right here, I'm going to start off with level 2. Okay. So level 2, which every brokerage firm pretty much offers it, you'll see what's called the bid, which are the buyers, and you'll see the ask, which is the sellers. You'll see these 4-letter symbols, which are exchanges: NASDAQ, EDGX, New York Stock Exchange. And then depending who wants to buy it is up on top. Whoever wants to sell it will be on the bottom. Okay. So the problem with level 2 quotes, it's been outdated since the 2000s. So as much as it looks pretty, think it gives you a lot of data, it's really outdated. And that's why what you need to use is something called level 3. So I'm going to ask everybody this question really quick. Actually, can we do a poll question? I put a poll up there really quick. So could everyone just tell me who here has level 3 quotes? Now, if you're a student of Cyber Trade University listening, please don't answer this question. Okay. So just want to kind of see how many people have it that are new here today and see, what the experience is. TradingView seems to have level 3 quotes. Well, we're going to find out, Patricia. I'll let you know in a second. All right. Just let's answer this poll, then we'll go from there. All right. So let me end the poll. And if you see, I'm going to share the results. You could see, if you're not sure, I write that in there because that means I would say call that a no. So you're talking about almost 83% of you don't have it. Well, let me tell you what the facts are. 80 to 90% of the people who trade in this market lose money. So we're going to fix that today. This is called NASDAQ Book Viewer. Now, I'm going to tell everyone where to get it directly from the exchange, okay? And they're going to show you why it's so important. Now, NASDAQ does probably 50% of the volume out of all the other exchanges. So they're pretty much the biggest in the industry, all right? Now, what you're seeing is we're looking at a stock called AMAT. Now, in AMAT right here, hold on, let me fix something here. You go, or let's look at Tesla, for example. You're going to see every single buyer in the entire world that wants to buy Tesla. And you're going to see whoever wants to pay the most and who wants to sell it for the least. Who wants to sell it for the least and who wants to sell it for the most. You're seeing what price, what shares, and how many orders. So if you're looking at this really closely, if you really, really think about it, you are seeing every order flow, every high frequency trade, every algorithm, every institution, every brokerage firm, everybody out there that wants to buy Tesla, you're seeing where they are as of right now. Now, let me show you how we utilize this technology. Right here, we're looking at a stock called Rigetti. Okay. And you see right here that Rigetti started this morning and it started right around 1740 and it went all the way down to a price of 1640. And then it went all the way back up to $18. Now, Chuck Z is one of our students. You'll get to meet with him. You could see he posted that he got in at 1678 and he got out at 1793. That was a really nice profit for him. Now, why did he get in and why did he get out? Well, like we said earlier, how do stocks go up? Buyers. If you look all the way down here on the bottom, right here at 1635, there was 195,000 share buyer out there. So think about that. How do stocks go up and go down? Buyers and sellers. Now, you'll notice that there are buyers at every single price, but what you need to be focused on is where is the big significant buyer out there? And that's where he's at. He's not, and they're buyers at every price. So when you're trying to think about what makes a support levels are made by buyers. Support levels are not made by anything else but the buyers out there that make it to be. Now, the same thing goes for sellers. Here you have a stock that we're looking at, ASTS. It started this morning, went from a price of $49. Some reason it stopped at this 51.70. Never wanted to go past 51.70, and it came down past the 49 all the way down to 48. Why did it pick that number at 51.70? Why not 52? Why not 50? What made 51.70 so special? Well, what makes a resistance levels? Sellers. When you look at the sell column and you work your way down, what we need to focus on is what's called the big block orders, what we like to call here iceberg orders. And that iceberg order is 66,000 shares. Now, you're probably asking, how do I know if that's a lot of shares? Well, when you see majority of the other orders out there with 300, 1,000, 1,500, and you're seeing this one is almost 100 times more the average than any other price, yeah, I would say that is a big resistance levels. Because remember, you said it first. How do stocks go up and go down? Buyers and sellers. And like I said earlier, how much smarter and better trading decisions would you be able to make in the market if you knew how to read what we like to call the right of the chart? Because 99% of the people in this world don't even know there even such a thing of a right of the chart. This is the right. This is the left. So the left, you're looking at the past. Here at Cybertrain University, we teach you how to read the right. Now, let's look at another example. Let's put this to the test. Let's go over a few examples to show you better. We're looking at a stock called FIG. Okay, I don't know if you guys heard about it, but it was a new IPO that came out. Very, very heavily hyped. Doesn't really matter, but at the end of the day, we're looking at the stock. and let's say you got caught up on one of these big fly runners, and now the stock is going the opposite direction. Okay. Now, my question to you is this: why is the stock going down? Can everyone answer that question? Why is the stock going lower? It's one word. Timothy, you're right. Joe, you're right. Magnus, you're right. Selling. People are selling. Okay. Now, the problem with the chart, you can't see the sellers out there, right? But we can. And we're going to teach you that when you come into our trading room. Now, let's just say you got caught into this trap. What is going to make the stock stop going lower? What's going to help us to find a support level? What do we need? Buyers. Okay. Wow, you guys are getting really good at this. Okay. And we didn't even teach you how to trade yet. You just seen a couple of things here. So you need buyers. Problem with the chart, you could only see what happened in the past. But how do you know if it's indicative of the future? Well, the only way to do that is we got to go to the exchange, and we need to see, okay, where are there any buyers out there? There's got to be buyers somewhere. Can't go to zero, which could happen, but it's got to test somewhere else. And when you look at the buy orders, you work your way down, you'll notice that $67, there are 74,000 shares out there. Now, in theory, you're like, wait a minute, we're at 74, Fausto. You telling me the stock can go down to 67? I can't afford that. Well, let me tell you something, fellow traders. Like it or not, hope all you want. That's where it's going. Okay? Or let's just say you were interested in buying the stock, and you're like, wow, I think it's a pretty good deal at 74. It just came back down from 150. We teach you here, you're probably right. But why pay 74 when you could pay 67? You understand? That's how you have to learn how to trade. How many of you here bought a stock and paid more for it? It went lower. Wish you could have bought it lower, even though it still went up. People do it all the time. And the reason why is you're not looking at the right side of the chart. Now, did I lose anybody yet? Because that's very important. Just give me a yes or no. Yes, if I lost you. No, that meaning you're following along. Didn't lose anybody. All right, perfect. Let's see how a seller creates a resistance levels now. We're looking at a stock called Oscar. It was a big runner, a big mover in the morning, ran from 1520. It's at 1590. Listen, 1,000 shares. You're up about 70 cents there. That's about $700, right? Do that every day. You're talking about almost a $200,000 salary. Not bad for a day's job, right? I don't know anybody that makes $700 an hour in 30 minutes other than us day traders. But how many of you ever did that before and then end up giving it back? Well, as a professional trader, what we teach you guys what to do is, you're looking at the stock and you're like, okay, you don't want to get too greedy, but you also don't want to sell it too soon. The only way you could figure that out is this: you have to follow where the other orders are. And if you look here on the book viewer, you'll notice that all the way up to about $16, there's 220,000 shares looking to be sold at $16. Now, you might project it to say, well, I did the wick and I looked at the VWAP and I looked at the RSI, and it says, well, the next resistance probably can go as high as 20. You know what? It could happen. But what indicators can't tell you is what we teach you here is, and what the exchanges to tell you that no one ever told you, is that you're coming up to a 220,000 share seller. And guess what? I don't care what an indicator tells you. I don't care what an analyst tells you. I don't care what newsletters tell you. Unless someone takes out that 200,000 share seller, it's not going anywhere. And guess what? It didn't. So that beautiful $700 winner you did, now you just gave it back, and now you're back to zero. Now, let's be honest. How many times has that ever happened to you? Okay. How many times you convert a winner to a loser? Well, because you're not looking at the right of the chart. And, once again, Lynn Ramsey, thank you very much for sharing your comments. They come to all our events. They always come here and they're looking to recruit traders because our job is this. We like to give back to the community and we hate seeing people lose money in this industry. I'm going to be traveling in the next several months. I'm going to be up in Toronto. I'm going to be in Orlando. I'm going to be in Las Vegas. I'm going to even be in Singapore. Okay. And I hate looking at people's faces like a deer in the headlights and just being like, yeah, you know what? I just don't understand why every time I buy it, it goes down. And every time I sell it, it goes up. Because I feel like someone's watching me. And I keep telling everybody, it's nobody's watching you. You're just not watching them. That is the problem. And it all comes down to who really trained you. Because remember, who trained me? I was a market maker. What is a market maker? I was a trader at a brokerage firm. How many of you here watch the financial stations? You see all those people running down the New York Stock Exchange. How awesome would it be to sit there and be following them and just be an intern or whatever, to be on the floor, to see where the specialist is buying and selling it. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. You could do it right here because they changed the rules. You have that technology. That's why if you look at the New York Stock Exchange, no one's there anymore. It's all electronic. But for some reason, some people still feel they need someone to tell them what to do. And let me tell you something. It doesn't work that way. At the end of the day, no one's going to do a better job and care more about your money than yourself. And that's why the big thing we need to teach you, and this first thing you need to understand, is where are the big iceberg orders of positions that you're in. Because if you don't know where they are, well, guess what? It didn't work out too well for the Titanic. Now, what I want to show you now is something called level 4. All right. For 5 years, I'm looking to get back in. I learned a lot from you, Fausto, in the past. I got my email here the first time in a while in a webinar, and I'm glad I did. Thanks for firing the ring day. Well, Roy, it's always great to see you, and thank you for being here, Roy. And you know what? I love teaching. And Roy, you know what? What you saw 5 years ago, wait till you see what's happening now, because I'm going to show you something even a little bit more even fun. So, but before I do that, who here would like to get the NASDAQ book viewer? Who here would like to try it? Because I have a couple of videos I want to show you. Let me bring up a browser really quick here. Hold on a second. So the website, it's a NASDAQ website, right? And what I'm going to show you when you register, I'm going to log into my account really quick. Invalid password. Oh, shoot. They changed my password. I got to get my password. Anyway, they always make you change it. But anyway, I'm going to show you right here. If you look right here, look how cheap this thing is. $15 a month. That's it. I used to pay me over $1,000 a month 30 years ago. They dropped it to $15 a month. By the way, does anyone here have a problem paying $15 to see 50% of the volume in a stock that you're in? Anybody? Because let me tell you something. I'm going to give and don't take this the wrong way. I'm a little brash, a little old-fashioned. I'm first-generation Italian. I live here in New York, old school. We just tell you how it is. If you can't afford $15, I'm going to tell you right now, just log out right now and start interviewing stockbrokers. And I know some people don't want to hear that. Like, well, I don't want to interview a stockbroker. Okay. Well, if you want to learn how to trade, you gotta have to spend money. Okay. And I'm not talking about thousands or tens of thousands. You were starting off with $15. Okay. And that alone, just think about it. Any stock that you look at, you're going to have basically a seat on the exchange. All right. So what I want to show you something maybe a little bit better is something called level 4. All right. So let me bring up level 4 here. And let me bring up a stock. Anybody here want to look at a stock? Give me a stock, any stock. Here's a stock that we were trading today, by the way. Okay, so this stock right here. CGC. All right, let me see. Is that a good one? CGC. Let me see. It's a cannabis stocks. Yeah, they're moving up pretty well. Are they all moving today? TLRY, CGC, CGC. Okay. What else? Anything else? We'll look at CGC. Okay. Now, why is CGC going up? Why is the stock going up? Patrick? Anybody can tell me? Why is the stock going up today? Buyers. People are buying it. That's what drives it up, right? Now, the question is this. When is it going to continue to go up? And when is it going to continue? When's it going to stop from going higher? So if you look right here, let me draw a trend line here. You'll notice that the stock did go all the way up. Right. It started here. And now finally started going up, and it kind of stopped right around here, right? Didn't it stop right around this 180, right? And then you could see right here, kind of build those support levels there, right? What'd you say? What price it? So what are those two numbers? What are those two numbers? Let's see if I put those numbers in there. What numbers are they? $180 and $170. Can everybody write that down? Everybody agree? Okay. Now watch this. This is called level 4. And let me show you what we see here. See this red line right here? That is a 171,000 share seller trying to sell. You see this support level right here? That little red line? That is a 333,000 share buyer at 168. So when you're trying to see how that stock go up, down, up, those colors said this guy showed up right around here at 12 o'clock to sell all those shares. And when he showed up, the stock started going down. But then the buyers showed up right around here around 12 o'clock also there. So that's why the stock is now like trading within this range of 168 and 183. All right. Did I lose anybody yet? Okay. Let's look at another one. Anybody else have another stock? How about Tesla? Let's just do a brand name stock, right? Let's do a brand name. So we're looking at Tesla here, and you could see today it went close to a high, right around this 353. And then you could see here, it kind of started bouncing a little bit here, right at this 140, right? But it did have other resistance levels, but you could see how it started like going down, right? Then now finally stopped at 140. So that stock literally dropped over about maybe $12, right? How would you have known to buy it at 340 and knew how to get out at 355? How would you have known that? Well, let me show you what we got going on over here. This is 9:30 in the morning. When the market opened up, program trading kicked in. Look at all these lines that showed up. Those orders are all these orders right here. 30,000, 20,000, 100,000, 30,000, 50,000, 20,000. So you can see all these orders started showing up. And that's the reason why it started going down. And there was no one here looking to buy. And then this buyer showed up. He was here earlier. And as the line got darker, that means he added more shares. And then he really added more shares. And then you could see right here at 340, there's about 122,000 shares looking to be bought. Now, if you waited patiently, which would have been about maybe an hour, well, 2 hours actually, maybe 2.5 hours. And if you waited all the way to 340 and bought at 340, now the stock is 343. What's 343 minus 340? Does anybody know what does that come out to be? What's 343 minus 340? $3, right? If you bought 100 shares of that stock, how much money is that? $300, right? Anybody have a problem with that? Making 300, what does that come out to be? About almost $100,000 a year salary. You know what I mean? So, but how would you have known to buy it there? Because that's where the buyer was. Now, did I lose anybody yet? Yes or no? Good, perfect. All right. So we're going to run out of time here because I know everybody is all excited and say, hey, you know what? I want to apply this to my trades. I need to know, what am I doing right? What I'm doing wrong? Well, what I'm looking to do today is I want to invite all of you guys to come to this trading floor right here. And I want you to meet, everybody that's in here, the Lynn and Randy are talking, the Litas, the Tims, the Chucks, there's Chuck, the one I showed you last time. That's him right there. I want you to meet all these traders. Okay. There's Lynn and Randy there. They're from Tennessee, people all over the world. And, see like stocks like SOGP at 11 o'clock goes from 6 and it's at 11. And like, whoa, I never seen a stock go up 100% in 2 hours. I never even been in one. Well, we do it every day. Forget about trading Tesla at 340 and selling it at 343. How about buying the stock at 6, which is literally almost, 50 times less money with more reward? So what I want to do is this. First thing is first, you got to subscribe to my channels. Okay. Now we're going to post a link up again. Please go to the YouTube channel or Instagram or TikTok or X. There's the list right there. Click on them and register. Click the subscribe button. Check the bell. We're live every morning. We got over 4,000 videos. You're not going to watch them all. But what's nice about these videos is you'll get to see some of the most popular ones. How to implement level 4 on Thinkorswim, how to use TradeStation. You'll get to see all these popular videos that we've done. You'll be able to see all our great podcasts that we've done. This is the last one. Actually, this is Chris. He's actually was one of my students 20 years ago. He was just on this week. And now he starts his own trading school, which is, I hope that one day you guys could do the same, which is awesome. All right. So make sure you subscribe to those channels. And also Cyber Trade University is also been sponsored and has been featured on some of the biggest brokerage firms in the industry. Thinkorswim, TradeStation, Tastywork, Schwab. We've done work for all of them, and we've been sponsored. I've done presentations for all of them. We also have a 5-star rating on Google, which is also great. Which is after 35 years, I think that's not too bad. Also was ranked from ChatGTP as one of the best schools in the industry for day trading stocks. But that is all, stuff that just shows you that our reputation is very important to us. But what we're looking to do today is this. I want to invite all of you guys to come into our trading floor. And all I'm asking for is a $9 trial. Now, it sounds, I don't know, sometimes people are like, that sounds like too good to be true. What's the catch? Why is it $9? The $9, we don't listen. If I asked 90, you probably would pay 90. I don't need your $90. I don't need your $9. I need real, honest people. And I feel like we could let you in for free, but that's not going to make you money. I feel like people don't take things seriously unless they have some skin in the game. So let me tell you a little bit what you're going to get for $9. You're going to get my book, okay? How to beat market makers of their own game. I'm going to tell you what their tricks are, their traps, their head fakes. You could go buy it on Amazon for $50, or you can get it here for free for $9. You're also going to get live commentary with all my instructors, Josh Leviton and Rich Lizar. You're going to get all our instructors. You're going to have access to our instructors. You're going to be able to ask them questions, all that stuff. You're also going to have full access to our message board. You know, all our trades that we do, ones we get in, ones we get out. You're going to meet these traders. You're also going to get our alert service. Okay. We're going to be posting alerts. We're going to show you these iceberg orders. We're going to prepare and get you ready for the right of the chart. We're going to give you lists of stocks that are moving, so you don't have to worry about figuring it out on your own. We're also going to give you access to our podcast, our Traders Talk. We'll get VIP access to some of the best gurus in the industry, all for $9. That's it. Now, everything that you see here, you're going to get, and I'm going to throw in one more bonus with the whole thing. If you register today, right now, I will personally talk to you on the phone. Now, why we do that? Well, the thing is this. Some of you going to have a lot of very important questions to ask. And some of you might be a little scared to ask, and you don't know who to ask, but you say, you know what? I wish I could ask you, Fausto. Well, guess what? I am willing to take the time, because my goal is this. I don't need the $9. I need traders I could work with. Like because I'm looking to recruit traders to be part of my team and make people like Chris Van Burnham, you know, and being hopefully down the road, teach other people out there to succeed, because there are just way too many people losing money in the market. So all you need to do is pick up that phone, scan that QR code, or click on that link that's up on the screen. Now, a couple of questions are coming across here. David Roberts says, how much is it after the $9? David, we are not, first of all, let me clarify one thing. You are not signing up for a subscription. Okay. So don't worry about after the 7 days. You're not going to be hit like some other people do with a $200 fee or $1,000. We don't do that. Okay. You don't want to continue with Cyber Trade University? No problem. We don't need your business. We respect your business, but we don't need it. Okay. We need traders that want to learn how to trade. And if you do want to learn how to trade, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. As of right now, just worry about the $9, and let's teach you level 4, level 3. Let's see some orders. Let's show you some stocks that are up 100, 200, 300% today. Let's teach you why people lose money in it. All right. So that regarding that, yes. So a couple other things also coming across here. So yes, we just don't teach day trading stocks. We do cover options. We do cover cryptocurrency. We do cover swing trading. We don't really do futures, very little. We do trade ETFs. Okay. We do teach metals, everything. You know, we teach you psychology, the discipline, but the only way you're going to know that is dishing out $5. Linda Ramsey just said, don't pass on this offer, cheaper than Starbucks. And this can make you money, nothing to lose. Yes, Fausto really does call you a wolf from a hustler, like on social media. Thanks for that. C2 is the best school I've learned from in trading, from Nobel. Not only how to make money, but how to stop losing it. That's the real great school to discover. And you know what? That is really our main goal. Our motto is, we don't teach you how to make money. We teach you how to stop losing it. Everybody likes to talk about, could you tell me where to get in, where to get out? No. Don't worry about that. Worry about if something ever happens, okay, you don't blow up your account, because that's what really sucks. All right. So just a couple of shout outs really quick. I got a couple of you guys just registered right now. So Kissimmee, I got your registration. Welcome aboard. Lou from Chicago got your registration. Welcome aboard. George Kay from Australia. Oh, wow. Nice to see you. What time is it there right now? But I really appreciate that. Welcome aboard. Really look forward to teaching you. All right. Any other and listen, traders, it's $9. $9. What do you have to lose? Okay. You've just seen why 90% of the people lose money. Okay. Now, what I want to show you is I want to give you two videos that are 5 minutes long. I want to show you how to download the NASDAQ exchange. I want to show you how it works. I want to show you how it's like in the live markets. Watch how we get in and out of these positions, because that's where you're going to learn how to get in and out of stocks. All right. So I have to go, fellow traders. Is there any other questions anybody here would like to ask? David, I don't know what that means. I will come bar you. No, I don't know what. Could you just repeat that again? David, I didn't see you register yet. You're the one that's asking so many great questions. Why don't you just come and join the room? Now, when you register, just got to tell you a couple of things. We take the class very seriously. So your trial very seriously. So all of you are going to go into have to ask a quick questionnaire. It's like 5 questions. Let us know who you're trading with, because you might have the wrong brokerage account. Listen, these brokerage firms, I don't know if you know this, but they actually trade against you. Okay. They want you to lose money because that's how they make their money. That's why they give you free tickets if you haven't figured that out yet. Also, you're all going to set up and have an appointment. We're going to do a walkthrough with you. So when you register, we want to make sure you know exactly what you're looking at. All right. So that's where, so when you get in there, you have a really good experience. And then once you're in the trading room, if I see you in there, we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk together. All right. A couple of you is registering right now. Zaid A from Staten Island. Oh, you're right up the block from us. Not too far from us. We're right here in Long Island. That's our office. All right. Any other questions, Joe? Thank you very much. I'm already in. I have to schedule with John Romano. Okay, Joe. Okay, good. All right. Well, welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Okay. It's always nice to hear this 2-3 times. You know what I mean? And hopefully you're gonna have your and make sure you book your appointment with me. But listen, you got to be in the room too. All right. I like to see you got to at least be in the room, and you don't got to be there all day. Try to be there in the first hour of the open, the last hour of the close. Try to be there when we do the live commentary. So, and see, and like I said, watch the other traders, how we teach them how to think for themselves. All right. A couple other people here just registered too. Who else we got here? Zachary, I got you from Los Angeles, California. Welcome aboard. Somebody's credit card just got declined. Sorry about that. Just keep trying again. Who else we got here? We've got, I hope I'm saying this right. Oh, Vince, got your registration. Welcome aboard. Look forward to teaching you. Jeffrey, just got your registration. Andrea, welcome aboard. All right. You finished the ebook yesterday? Good to hear. All right. Glad you enjoy it. It's a fast read, color, So, but now when you start putting into the test, you're going to learn a lot more. All right. Any other questions? Who else we got here just registered? David Gilson from Leeds, from Great Britain. All right. Welcome aboard. A lot of people from Great Britain. I'm actually going to be there probably in about 3 months. So, and let me tell you something too, ladies and gentlemen, very, very important. This is the last weekend of summer here in New York. Labor Day, markets closed. Once this is over, September, October, November are one of the best years to trade, best months. Okay. There's also chatter. We might get a big correction in the market. And I am super excited to hear that, because catastrophes make opportunities for us traders. So you might be thinking about, oh my God, I got positions. What's he talking about? That's why you better get into the room. So this is a really great time to get the trial, because you're going to be starting the week of when the markets really start turning around. Kids are back at school. Kids are back in, you got kids going back to college. Everybody's summer homes here in the Hamptons are going to expire. The millions and millions of dollars that they spent, they got to go back to work. What else we got here registered? Albert from Aurora, Colorado, got your registration. Welcome aboard. Patrick says, bring it on. Damn right, you're going to bring it on. Looking forward to that. All right. All right, traders. Like I said, last chance. Listen, very important to all of you. Everybody needs to learn how to trade. And you might need to learn from a few different people. So I know that somebody said that here, listen, I'm in already a program, I want to finish that up. Listen, if you don't get it within a month or two with someone, it obviously is time to get fired and go somewhere else. This should not be complicated. Think how much you've learned in the past 30 minutes, what you'll learn in a week. So, and sometimes you got to take a couple of lessons with certain people, different people, before you find something. But I'm just warning you, everybody, please don't go out there, do it on your own. It is a very big failure rate. And the last thing you want to do is blow up your account. Because if you think $9 is expensive, try ignorance. Oh, no problem, Robert. Looking forward to it. That's okay. All right, traders, listen. So anyway, thanks for being here. Look forward to seeing you all on the trading floor. And if you want to watch the recording, we will have it up and recorded, so you can review this over and over again. Just make sure you subscribe to all our social networks. We do tweets, we send alerts, we do that stuff. You get that for free. But if it's just not the right time for you, I get it. We're not going to go anywhere, but don't procrastinate. All right, guys. I know everyone has positions open, and you better follow where those orders are, because if you don't get out before those orders, it's going to cost you. Look forward to teaching you all. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all on the trading floor.